Today we're going to make little animals modeled after the little bears that Margaret Hudson used to make. If you lift Margaret Hudson's bears, you'll find that they're very heavy. They're made out of one piece of clay. And the interesting thing is if you turn her bears over, you're going to find a hole. She would put a hole up through the middle of the bear in order to get the air, the hot air from the kiln, into the center of the clay, which would bake it better. And that way it wouldn't crack or it wouldn't blow up in the kiln. So first thing we need to learn is how to put the hole in the middle of the clay. So we're going to start with a piece of clay, about like this, and we're going to take and we're going to pound it, just pound it like this. We're going to make it sort of into the shape of what we want it to be. And when you're doing this, I want you to think, what kind of animal am I going to make? Is it going to be a penguin? Will it be a dragon? Will it be what else would it be? A kitty cat? Would it be a dog? Would it be a bird? I really like birds. I think I'm going to make a bird out of mine. Okay. All right. So I need to think, what shape of bird? What kind of a body does a bird have? Let me think. A bear's shape is like this, isn't it? It's kind of this shape with a little head. A dog's shape might be that too. But a penguin's shape would be this. Let me show you what a penguin would look like. I'm making a beak. So if we put a beak on him, that looks like a penguin. But I don't want to make a penguin. I want to make a regular bird. All right. So a regular bird's body would be sort of shaped like this, wouldn't it? Does that look more like a bird's body? I think it does. Okay, so I'm going to bump his bottom a little so he sits down. Okay, he's sitting pretty good. I'm going to squeeze his head a little bit to make his head a little skinnier. And I'm going to make his face is a little pointier, so we're going to make his head a little pointier like this. Is that beginning to look like a bird? A little bit. Okay, I'm going to squeeze out his back like this. You know what I need to do first? I need to put a hole. Remember Margaret Hudson's hole? Remember that hole? We need to do that for our animals. Take a pencil like this. We're going to tip him over. And I'm going to take and just put the hole straight up his middle like this. Okay, I'm going to take it out. I went in a long ways, didn't I? I probably went in about this far with my pencil because I want to get the air all the way up to the top if I can. That'll make it safe in the kiln so it won't break. See how far my pencil goes in? All right. There we go. So I have a hole in the middle of my bird now. And now I can keep going. I'm going to put my bird back down. What was I working on? I was working on the tail. Let's do the tail. Okay, I need a tail shape. So I'm pinching out the tail of the bird. So looking a little bit more like a bird. How long of a tail am I going to make him? Let me think. I'm just kind of pulling, pinching the clay to make a tail like this. See? That's looking pretty good. Okay, his little face needs to be a little pointier. And at this point, I can even kind of begin to shape his wings. So I'm going to press in like this and begin to make his little wings. Can you see his little wings? So we're beginning to form the wings a little bit like this. See? Like that. And you know what's cool about clay? I can make feathers using clay just by pulling my finger along his, like this. See how that kind of looks like a feather? And like that. And like this. Like that. See how those kind of look like feathers? I'm sure you could do a much better job than I. But this is looking very much like feathers. All right. Now, I want to put a beak on him. He has a pointy nose, but I want to make a nice beak. In fact, I want to make his mouth open. So I'm going to take a ball of clay like this. And the really important thing about attaching pieces to the clay is to score and slip. And to score and slip means that you take and you make scratches in the clay like this. Can you see how I made scratches in that clay? And then I'm going to make scratches on the piece of clay that I have, like that. Then I'm going to put a little water on both pieces. I'm going to put a little water here and a little water right there, see? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to kind of squiggle it on. You just kind of squiggle it on. See how it's sticking really well? And then I'm going to be able to work the clay together with my fingers. So you kind of smush the clay together so that it smooths out. See, like that? Oh, he's got a big beak. Look at that big beak. And you can kind of make it pointier if you want. I think I want his mouth open, and so I'm going to take something and I'm going to open up his beak. We're just going to kind of put him like that, and then we're going to... Does that look like his beak is open? That's working pretty good, isn't it? Okay. And now, if you want to add eyes, let's add some eyes. And what I do is I take a ball of clay like this, and I break it into 2 equal balls so that they're the same size. See? I've got 2 eyes that are the same size. And the next thing we need to do is score and slip, remember? We're going to score and slip. So we're going to take and we're going to score. See, I have 2 places for his eyes to go. And I'm going to do the same thing on the little balls. I'm going to score. I'm going to score both of the little balls. We're going to make little scratches in them. And now I'm going to put water on them. Put water there, put water there, put water there, and put water there. And then I'm going to take his eyes and I'm going to put the 2 pieces together. And we're going to kind of wiggle it in, and then we're going to smooth it down. Like that. And you can kind of push on it and shape it until it looks like the eye that you want it to be. All right, I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to smooth it down like that. All right. Does that look like a bird's eye? Look at that. The bird has eyes. Okay. This is when you can kind of begin to work at shaping the character of your animal. All right, now it's time for you to get started. What you need to do is take your ball of clay, remember? And you shape it like the body shape. You take a pencil, you put a hole in the middle, like Margaret Hudson used to do. And then you score and slip as you begin to add things to it. So you can add ears, you can add a mouth, you can add tails. Remember to keep everything really thick. Everything should be about as thick as your thumb. If I were going to add a tail, you'd probably make a coil like this, which is about as thick as my thumb. And then you would score both pieces, put some water between, and then slip. But remember to make everything really nice and thick so that it doesn't break. Really skinny things break easy, and you're going to be very unhappy if that happens. So have fun. Be creative, and you're going to make an amazing animal, I can just tell. Bye.